As was illuminated to me recently in one of the past videos, what I thought was my shank making skills is actually my shiv making skills. The action is to shank with a shiv. Good times. Hello and welcome to Nathan's large-haired and nervous garage. Large-haired, you might ask? Yes, I am the one with the large quarantine hair, hopefully to be rectified soon. Nervous, you may ask? Yes, I can answer that one too. Because of this. It's a complicated panel for me. For many panel formers, I'm quite sure it's a 10-minute job. For me, probably the one project of the day. Luckily, this video is going to be filmed over 2 days, so there will be more content than that. Yeah, so I'm going to get my poster board, start cutting and seeing. It's going to be one of those ideas that forms itself in the fullness of time, moving forward. Still nervous. This is all very cryptic. Wife-tastic just told me to turn on the camera because she's coming out with something. What do you got? That's so cool. Where'd you get that from?
I made it for you. I made it on Teespring. It's in your store now.
Oh, that's so cool. That's like a banner, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, you can put it right up there.
That's so cool. Okay, let's put it up.
Put it up now. No.
It was mentioned in the comments how I'm using a claw hammer a lot for bodywork, and that's true. So I should be trying Super Pro this time. If anybody knows how to do this without beating the living hell out of it, with not really having any metal forming tools, let me know in the comments. Because this has to stay flat and then this top half has to belly in. So I mean, I can get them both to bend and come out like I have done here, but this has to stay straight. So the hammer it is. Rarely do I do anything bodywork wise and it actually goes quicker and smoother than I thought. I thought this was going to be loads of steps and stuff. And there still is a load of filler panels all around here and inside and a simple one here, but pretty good for me. Okay, I'm going to see you back here in an hour because I've got to go to therapy now to put my head back together. There we go. I'm very happy with that. Nice. This next one is a small piece and it's hard for me to bend something that small with a couple of different straight edge and a curved edge. Straight, same as this thing. So I'm going to start to tack it at the bottom there and then start to finagle it into shape as I keep tacking and moving. Okay, fancy having a bit of a clean up until before phase 2 starts. Making pretty good progress today, obviously, as a plane goes past. So we have pretty much closed off this rear wheel well. And the chassis leg's complete, that piece is complete. Obviously we've got to do the underside, that's all going to be done. Got to do the tank filler first. And yeah, that piece is in. So the last piece on this side is that little triangulated piece down there, which I'll get from the other side. Also, I'm really hoping that in my haste to do this, I left enough room for the battery cables to get through there with that big old, what I assume is a fuse of some sort. And that. It's going to be tight. I wouldn't be lying if I said I'm pretty damn happy with the way the day's gone. So just did that little closing panel in there. So complete. Still gonna do all this. Complete in there. Complete on the end of the chassis leg. Inside, all sealed up. So a little fillet piece there. And hopefully the battery cables will fit through there. And then tomorrow, onto this side. Guys, 2 boxes just came. Window seals. Oh my god, that's so good. And this one I'm a little more surprised about because it's my gas filler neck. Super simple. This. That is going on the quarter. God, that's nice. Cost me $100. Look at that welding. I was pretty sure I lost the XR key. I think this might be it. I miss the old girl. I miss driving her. Let's see if it works. Yay! In the comments for the last video, a few of you have been asking, what about these vents? Won't they fill up the trunk with water? And you are exactly right, and that is something I did not consider in any way whatsoever. Right now, I'm aware of it. And it's not too high on the list of priorities because where I live, it's probably not going to rain until about November, December time. So it's fine. It's not going to fill up with water anytime soon. But thank you for the heads up. I'm now aware. Started prepping this side with bare metaling. There's a load of grot around this window, but it isn't going to get done in this phase of the build. That'll be phase 2 of the build, probably at the end of the year when bodywork gets dealt with. Because just want to get in it and ride it. So the tabs are on there for the front fender mounts. Fenders in there. So now we're going to be doing the big rear quarter piece like last time and moving forward. So I'm quite sure this is a panel forming akin to making a transmission tunnel bigger with a lump hammer. So that's bent and we just need to make this go into this corner. People who know how to do bodywork, look away now. Here we go. Oh my word, I'm knackered. I'm absolutely bloody knackered. So this is slightly different than the other side because the back of the car's over about that much. Everything's perfect mounting wise up until like the front of the wheel well, but then as it comes back it goes cockeyed that way. So I ain't bothering about it. I'll disappear up my own bum if I keep trying to follow every problem this car has. After 50 years of faithful service. Don't need to run the strengtheners up here like I thought it was going to have to, because I forgot this was going to tie in this floor. Strong as hell. There we go, all finished off there. A quick strengthener inside. Now let's tackle this little lovely right there. Okay, here we go, next bit. Again, anybody workers that know what you're doing, look away. Okay, then we're close enough. Let's start melting and hitting. Very happy with where this has ended up. Happy with where it's got to, so I can move on to something else right now. So that's complete, chassis legs complete, filler plates complete, and the trunk or bonnet or whatever it is, it's actually started opening now on it without wriggling it. There we go, sides are all in. Obviously battery spun around like all you guys said. I shall put that in 2 seconds. And then underneath, tied in all of the, you know, like the cross members and stuff with the flat panel, so it's all nice and strong. Right, so there were lots of suggestions for what we should do with the gas filler. A lot of people wanted it to be in the trunk. Unfortunately, I can't really get it there with enough angle to get the gas to go downhill, because the filler would have to be there and it'd be a very, very gradual slope, and there is tons of stuff in the way. Some people wanted it up here, you know, and all this kind of stuff, but you've got several skins of the roof, you've got a pinch weld here. There's just a lot of stuff in this area. I've seen there's a V8 bug that's way more of like a rat lug type thing, or like a, I don't know, like a buggy. There's no fenders on it, no windows. He's got a beer keg here as a gas tank, and he's gone straight through the roof with it. Obviously, I don't want to do that because it's just not in keeping with the theme of the car. So I'm just going to keep it simple. The gas filler comes right out here. So I'm going to put it here, and then we will Hopefully not have to drop the suspension with the tank. That wouldn't be fun. We'll take the filler neck back a little bit further, and then we'll just have a quick little bit of a kink from the filler to the BMW tank. Nice and simple and doable right now, relatively quickly, methinks. There we go. Super pretty. The drill bit is actually working like a CNC cut at the sides of it. Now I need the Black & Decker that I cut Bodhi's toenails with to go round. Just in case somebody thought this was my bedclothes, it's a welding blanket, fire retardant blanket, so this gave off more sparks than I thought actually. So, well, it seems I was definitely hasty in cutting that hole because it's not in the right place. Guess I'll have to draw on my expertise and bodywork skills to rectify the situation. Right, so we'll be cutting circles and welding them back in the next episode. It's definitely in its spot. I'm going to have to be doing some Frenching action into the fender, and that ideally needs to be shorter. And I really don't want to drop suspension to drop tank. Can't get a pipe cutter in there or anything. How annoying. Well, that may be first job next week. Monday. Joy. Oh, really close on the fuel filler. That's that. Back end's done. On a little bit more of a joyful note, the long-termers of you will know that my addiction is Mercer XR4Ti's, and I thought I'd lost the key, but it was in the key drawer. I just didn't see it. So she's not moved in about, I want to say at least 3 months, probably since the Mutt started being built. So charge the battery, let's go for a little drive. I do love these cars, I really do. They're awesome. Still an auto. I don't know if you can hear it. Definite knocky sounds. You can only hear it inside, can't hear it outside. So the eagle-eyed among you will see that the temperature gauge is pegged. Now, I don't know if it's true. I don't know how real that is. Now, this car, for the new subscribers, this car was the classic little old lady's car who just rolled around her local neighborhood. Unfortunately, the people who were looking after it for her used water in the cooling system. So it was terrible, absolutely terrible. So did a head gasket on it, water pump, and I've never seen coolant passages as bad as this. And I'm gonna say it's still not right. The temperature I think it got to through its life when it initially overheated and did the head gasket when I bought it. Don't think the engine's overly happy anymore. I'm not too bothered though. It was a good price and it's super original, and I just wanted one. This is about my 5th, and I don't know, I just like to have one in my life. So as I say, we're auto, C3 3-speed auto, which is relatively bad, but you know, she drives well. So I just thought I'd get her warmed up, and as you can see from the temperature gauge, I have succeeded in my plan. She does get up and go though. They handle so well. For like an early 80s, mid 80s car, they just handle and drive so unbelievably well. Literally nothing else. The Mustang was, let me turn this. So the Mustang was the basic competition to this car, if you can call it that. I think this was about double the price. They did the Mustang SVO and the Ford Thunderbird Turbo Coupe. Mechanically basically the same. This car didn't get the intercooler. So with the C3 Auto, it was detuned to 145 horsepower. 145 rampaging horses. Now, as those horses have rampaged through this car's life, several, more than several, became lame. And unfortunately, a lot were lost to, I think, broken legs. Probably about, I want to say 90 are left. But you know, she goes. So yeah, so the manual versions had 175 rampaging ponies, and then with the SVO and the Turbo Coupe, I think they were around 200. I've never owned those, and you can swap all the parts over from those cars to the XR4, and you can get it, you know, up to around 200. Now that's kind of cool to me because the Sierra Cosworth in England, which is why I love this car so much, is because I grew up with that car in touring cars, British touring cars, with Andy Rouse, Tim Harvey, and all that kind of stuff. They drove the Cosworth. Now, when the first Cosworth came out, it had 204 horsepower. And that at the time, being 100 brake horsepower per litre, was phenomenal. Whereas now it's pretty terrible. NA, they're doing that now, and more. So it's always been a thing of mine, I mean, depending on how healthy this engine is to get it bang on 204 horsepower, just to, I don't know, with a manual transmission, just to see what a Cosworth would have been like. Who knows? We'll see how hurt this engine is and how healthy she is moving forward. But I'll tell you what, super relaxed drive, a little bit soft because, you know, pretty much everything's on its last legs, suspension wise and bushings wise. What I wouldn't mind you guys letting me know is if you would like me to do a Jetta coilover swap on the front end of this, because parts are getting more difficult to get. We have some amazing part suppliers: Merca Parts Midwest, Merca Depot, MC2, Stinger, Russ Harness at Rapido. All these guys are absolute diamonds of this kind of weird turbo Ford community, and they're awesome. They really are awesome. But parts are getting harder to get now. Volkswagen Jetta parts are not getting harder to get. So if you guys would like me to do a Jetta coilover conversion on the front, let me know and we'll do a video on it. That's it really, I think. This car, oh, one thing I did do on this car is Tim Spencer's Focus rear caliper and disc conversion on it, so it's discs all the way around. Originally when it was made, it had drums on the back and discs on the front, and I have actually done a video on that swap out because the wheel cylinders were all done and there was no brakes. But she kind of has brakes. I've bled in myself, not that well, but she stops. It's fine for now. And on that tremendously, amazingly successful bombshell, the nerves may have gone, but the big hair is still here. And on that large note, thank you so much to Patreons, PayPal pool, tip, jar, fillers, and everybody else who supports the channel. You guys are all awesome and I couldn't do it without you. We are moving forward faster than I ever thought it would be possible. And I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.